In 2020, a man in Italy got laid off from his factory job. No savings, no backup plan, just a broken phone and a TikTok account. 5 years later, that same man just signed a $900 million deal. Not for a product that he made, not for a company he built, but for his face. And here's the part nobody's talking about. He might never have to make another video again. His name is Khaby Lame, or Khaby Lame. And if you don't know him, you probably still know this face expression. Did the COVID days feeling hit you back? Born in Senegal, raised in Italy, he spent his teenage years bouncing between two countries, two cultures, two worlds. He wasn't studying business or media. He was working on a factory floor. Then COVID hit. March 2020, he loses his job. And instead of sending out CVs, he opens TikTok. What made him explode wasn't dancing or drama. It was reaction videos. Specifically, watching people struggle with life hacks and then doing them perfectly, with zero words, just the most expressive face on the internet. By April 2021, 1 year after losing his job, he was the most followed Italian on TikTok. By the end of 2022, the most followed person on all of TikTok, on the entire planet. All this without saying a word, as silence is a universal communication, and the best thing is, everyone understands it. Forbes 30 under 30, a judge on Italia's Got Talent, and in 2025, named on Time magazine's very first 100 most influential creators list.
But none of that is why we are here today. Because what just happened in 2026 is on a completely different level. And honestly, every content creator on this platform should stop and think.
A company called Rich Sparkle Holdings has paid Khaby Lame $900 million for exclusive global rights to his brand for 3 years. Let that sit for a second. He has sold not just a product line or his company, his brand, his name, his face. Now, before you think he's getting a $900 million check deposited into his account, it doesn't work like that. He receives a mix of cash and equity, making him a controlling shareholder in Rich Sparkle Holdings. So he has skin in the game. But here's where the math gets wild. Khaby used to charge $750,000 per sponsored post. That's $750,000 per post. To match the value of this deal at that rate, he'd need to post 1,200 sponsored posts over 3 years. That's more than one post every single day, like with 0 days off for 3 years straight. That's not a content strategy, that's a prison sentence. So why does Rich Sparkle think the deal is worth it? Because they're not betting on him to do the work, they're betting on AI.
This is where the story stops being about one man's success and starts being about the future of every creator on the internet, including you and me.
Here's what Rich Sparkle Holdings actually bought. They're building an AI-powered digital twin of Khaby Lame, an avatar that looks like him, sounds like him, moves like him, built entirely from his voice, his likeness, and his mannerisms. And this AI version of Khaby can do things the real Khaby never could. The AI can host live streams 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never sleeps, never gets sick, never has a bad day, never needs a contract renegotiation. The target markets? The United States, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, all at once, over the next 3 years. And on top of the content play, they're launching co-branded product lines, clothing, beauty, fragrance, across all 3 regions simultaneously. Now think about the projection they've put on this. The deal is worth $900 million, but analysts believe the partnership could eventually generate $4 billion in annual sales. His face, his voice, scaled by AI into a $4 billion a year machine.
So here's the question I want you to sit with. Is this the most brilliant move a creator has ever made? Or did Khaby Lame just sell his originality, his identity, something that he will never get back?
Let's zoom out. Because this deal isn't just about Khaby Lame. Before this, the biggest money a creator could make was through brand deals, merchandise, or maybe a TV show. The ceiling was set by time, how much content one human could physically produce. This deal demolishes that ceiling. It essentially puts a valuation the same way you'd value a tech platform or a media company, but on a human identity. Khaby Lame's face is now an asset class. And once one deal like this works and generates that $4 billion in sales, every major company on earth is going to look at the top 100 creators and start making calls. Which means creators are about to face a choice nobody prepared them for. Do you license yourself to a corporation and let AI scale you beyond anything you could do alone, or do you stay in control, smaller, slower, but yours? There's no wrong answer. But there is an answer you'll be forced to give, because this wave is coming. Khaby Lame didn't just sign a deal, he became the blueprint. from a factory floor in Italy to the most followed account on TikTok to a $900 million AI-powered empire. Today, the stock price of Rich Sparkle Holdings has fallen from a peak of over $180 to $11.19. Still, Khaby Lame's story is inspiring. A preview of a world where your biggest asset isn't your skill, your product, or your network.
It's you, your face, your voice, your identity. And if that offer comes, what will be your worth? If this blew your mind, you need to see what's happening in the geopolitics around the world. I'll link it on the screen here.